What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Parker and welcome back to RunielParkerStudios. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Razer Blade 14 2021 edition. I first want to say first impressions, first of all, that it was an opportunity to take the time out to purchase this product and get to know it. Honestly, a very solid product. It just has many flaws that you want to consider before making a full purchase. Let's get into it. The one I have is a 5th gen Ryzen 9 5900HX. It has an RTX 3060, 6GB of VRAM, 16GB non-upgradable RAM, and a 1TB NVMe. The display is a 1080p LCD and it's running at 144Hz. Let's talk about the 144Hz. I've never used a screen at 144Hz. The closest I've been, I believe, is 120Hz, which is the iPhone 13. And honestly, it was, for a tiny touch screen like that, it's fluent. Now, getting up into a big screen like this, the 144Hz makes the computer feel so much more fluent, fast, and smooth, and I definitely like that. And this is definitely an upgrade. As a first-time consumer, you're gonna be amazed and wowed at 144Hz, and once you try to go back, it's gonna be hard to go back. Speaking about the display in terms of size, as you know in the name Blade 14, it's 14 because of the 14 inches that the screen is. It actually took me a day to kind of get used to it and readjust. I'm coming from the Alienware 17R5. That thing is about 17, almost 18 inches. It's huge, and definitely trying to adjust to the screen. I was kind of trying to get adjust not only to the screen but the hertz and everything. But moving on to the keyboard, let's talk about that. Here's everything I love about it, and here's everything that I hate, and this is critical. So one thing that I love about the keyboard is when you press the little FN key, it cuts off all the lights on the keyboard and it just shows the function keys. That is literally, I feel like that's so cool because some laptops, this is the first laptop I've ever used and does that. My Alienware didn't do that, and it's so less distracting, and it makes you really focus and tune in on those function keys. That's just a little small detail that I wanted to point out. Speaking about other nice details about the lighting on this is actually, I really like it. The backlighting, it gets really bright, it gets really low, and that's also going to have a dictation on your battery life, which we're gonna get to as well. So keyboard wise, the feel, it feels, you know, like a keyboard. It's not anything too special. Here's the thing you want to keep in mind though. The GPU and the CPU are like right under the keyboard. When I was doing some test benchmarking Rainbow Six Siege, my hands could barely keep on the keyboard. The whole chassis gets so hot, and your hands are on that keyboard. You're trying to play a FPS, a AAA title like that, and you can barely keep your hands. It's like you're playing. It's like I was playing hot potato with my keyboard. There is no spacer. There's no like divider. It's literally the keyboard sitting right on top of the components, and it literally burns your hand. If you have your hand laying on here, if you have your hand close enough in a wrong place, you can literally get burnt from this because the temperatures that CPUs operate on might not be convenient for human touch. Now, one of my friends said, oh, Parker, what you could do basically is get a external keyboard, plug in an external keyboard. I didn't buy this laptop to buy extra accessories. I bought this laptop to get it and get into it and to use it how I'm supposed to use it. Razer, you need to fix that. That sucks. That maybe you guys need to add more cooling in that area or maybe separate it, but it sucks. That's like the heat is mainly distributed right on those WASD keys, and it sucks. Also with the keyboard, I want to mention about the touchpad. The touchpad is very inaccurate. It's very cheap, and I used to have the cheap out somewhere, but like I would click something and it wouldn't register right away. Now eventually when your hands get used to it, you're gonna get a little bit better, but I totally prefer you get an external mouse. I have, as you can see right here, I have a Razer mouse. I'm a big Razer fanboy anyway, but I'm using an external mouse, and I definitely recommend using an external mouse, even if it's, you know, wherever you're at, if you can, because the touchpad is just not it. Now, another area I believe that another area that Razer went really good on and really bad on are the speakers. The speakers on this have no bass. It is literally ridiculous. I did every bass test, and I couldn't get 1 ounce of bass out of these speakers. However, they have great treble. Now, when you plug in to that 3.5 audio jack, you're gonna get something special because you get that THX audio. And I've been telling all my friends about it. You guys sound amazing. And it's because of that audio, that internal audio processing that they added onto here from THX, it makes everything sound amazing. YouTube videos, amazing. Movies, more extreme. Your friends sound super good. They might have cut corners on an external audio with the speakers. When you turn it on internally, it sounds amazing. So getting into the Cinebench results for Cinebench R23, I got a 7062 in single core. Unfortunately, I didn't get any multi-core tests done, so those are the results. Single core. I'm gonna have some multi-core results up on the screen from a verified source. Moving on to Minecraft ray tracing. Minecraft ray tracing on Bedrock. I got about 35 to 40 FPS with 8 chunks. If you go any higher, you will get significant quality. However, you're gonna drop in frames exponentially. You're gonna drop down to like maybe 20 frames. It's gonna look really good. It's just not gonna be playable. Moving on to Minecraft Java Edition. On low settings, you're gonna get an average of 144 FPS. Now, when you're moving on to max settings, you're looking at about 39 FPS average, and a mix of medium to low is gonna get you about 70 and an average of 90 FPS. 90 FPS, 144 Hertz. Man, it's silky smooth. It makes Minecraft feel really good. I also benchmarked Valorant at medium settings. You're gonna get an average about 160 FPS, give or take. So honestly, I want to tell you what really made it or break it for me with this laptop, because I honestly wasn't gonna invest in this because of one thing, and that's that non-upgradable RAM. You're stuck with 16 gigabytes of RAM. However, you can use the GPU RAM from either the Radeon GPU or from the GTX when they're not being in fully use. So you get that, but it's just not the same, I feel like, as you being able to put 32 gigs of you being able to put your own. Even if they left us one RAM slot where you could put maybe what they put, imagine they put one 16 gig and they left one slot open, then you could put another 16 gig in, or even a 32 gig if possible, and I feel like that would be just so good. But this thing is honestly a hot plate in your pocket. It gets hot. It's gonna get hot. This is a tiny computing power with these high specifications. I don't know why everybody's surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. You're gonna have to get yourself a cooling pad. You're gonna have to get yourself a laptop pad, because this thing is nothing to play with. And you're gonna have to understand that caveat when you start getting into this kind of territory. So you need to keep that in mind. Last thing I want to run on before I end off, because I almost forgot, is the battery life. The battery life on this is exponential. I've been beating the life out of this battery lately because I've been running a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. I've been running a lot of editing, and I've been having it on charge, off charge. On your normal use, you're gonna get literally 5 hours plus, and then like on heavy use, you're gonna get about an hour, 2. So like if you want to do gaming stuff, about an hour to less than 2 hours. Sometimes better, depending. It just depends on the situation, depends on the game that you're playing. But the battery life is actually pretty decent for a portable. For this size and this portability, it works perfectly. So that's everything that Parker has to say on the Razer Blade 14 2021 edition. If you did enjoy this video, please drop a like, comment, and remember, you're always welcome to subscribe to my channel. This was Untitled Chapter Productions. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.